Hey guys, back with another hard Magnus video here, and this time I'm on a new character, a Shade player, one of the strongest in NA Scania. And you'll see this is not my first run ever playing a Shade, but it's probably my third or fourth. So it went a lot smoother than it initially did for me. And one of the things that I learned, because I'd never played Shade before, especially never done hard Magnus before, is when to maximize my split and when to maximize my hyper skill to not get interrupted and not to, just to maximize DPS, right? So you saw I used split and the hyper right there during his dash sequence. I'm about to use the bind just to maximize output right here. And then you'll see that I have the backward dash skill on my skill wheel. I didn't use it right there, but it's very, it's a great skill to have. It's very responsive, so you can pretty much spam your main ability, and you can at the last second do the teleport, the back teleport, and it's going to be the perfect range where you're going to dodge the spin skill. So you'll see I'll use it pretty frequently right there. Timed it out great. It's going to avoid all that damage altogether. And then I jump right there just because I wasn't too comfortable. I had to make sure I was facing the right direction. And here you can see I'm using my split hyper combo. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about because that's really where a lot of your damage is coming from and what, makes or breaks your run, right? The last thing you want to do is get interrupted, knocked back while you're doing that hyper skill, right? So you'll see that I use it during the dash sequence. I learned that if I use it during the spin, it's going to knock me back and I'm going to get interrupted, right? That's the last thing I want. Even if I stand under the lightning right there, I'm still going to get one-shotted. So you definitely want to move out of the way of the lightning before you do your hyper, as you see I do. And then you also see that the full damage of the orb is taken while you're in the hyper, but you don't take any of the dot damage and you don't take any of the dash damage, which is crazy, which is super helpful clearing hard Magnus, right? So you see right here, I use split right before he does his lightning, move out of the way of the lightning so I don't get one-shotted, and I just spam the hyper, right? It's going to hit the split target, it's going to hit hard Magnus, and even though I'm outside of the force field, I'm not doing maximum damage, it still allows for that full duration, and it's still going to chunk him really hard, right? So yes, Shades are overpowered right now. They just got rebalanced and buffed, but it's still about when to maximize your DPS, right? You can't just throw around the hyper and do it whenever you want. You have to use it at the perfect time, and that's the time that I found optimal. And so you see about 3 minutes into the fight, he's pretty much down to that last, 25 to 30% already. And a lot of the DPS is coming from the hyper skill and the split timing. So you see right here that I'm going to go through the sequence again, maximize the uptime, gonna take damage right there. It was kind of in a weird spot. But here, I'm gonna use the split combo again and rinse and repeat, dodge immune the dash completely, hold down the hyper, good orb RNG right there, so I didn't have to cancel it early or worry about repositioning, and he's pretty much chunked down to, look, 5% already or so. So now, as this run is pretty much coming to an end, I don't want to overlook the last 5% because that's where a lot of my fails occur. So I was able to stun him right there, avoid the orbs right there, and just finish him off right here very quickly. Smooth run, no deaths. I used, I think, 30 and tangs. I used about 6 PEs, and the run was, over just under 4 minutes. You see it right here, 3:43. Pretty good time. It definitely took me a few runs to get used to, but I hope this helped you Shade players. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.